everybody has gone home. I'm in my studio in Pennsylvania, and I have no technological support, but I was like, I'm gonna do this.
You're doing great. We're here, and you've already created this. You don't have to do anything else, okay?
Oh, yeah. Well, look at this is my go-to. My Tragic Me is my go-to neutral lip now that I wear all the time.
Are you serious?
It's so great. Oh, it's so good, Gwen.
Thank you
so
much.
Good. No, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you. And then on my eyes, I have your compact here. I am like homage to Gwen Stefani and give today. But thank you so much for coming. And you know, when I decided I wanted to do this series about dreaming big, you were one of the first people that came to mind if I was going to be lucky enough to be able to talk to you, because I don't know, Gwen, if you recall, we've met. I've been in your orbit a couple times. And
well, I know you know people that I know, and they love you. They absolutely love you. So, and I got a bunch of your stuff sent here. So thank you so much. It's like free makeup. I love it so much. It never gets old.
You have an endless supply whenever you need. But the thing I wanted to say about that is, just as a makeup artist in Los Angeles, and I worked with a lot of musical, artists, and I actually worked with you one time with David LaChapelle. And it was, I don't know if you remember this, Gwen, it was a funny day. We were in a Winnebago, and you were jumping in a pink box on Wilshire Boulevard, and we got
I know exactly. Yep. That was for Rolling Stone, I think. I think that was for Rolling Stone, with no doubt.
And we got kicked out of the La Brea Tar Pits. You were wearing this little Swiss Miss school outfit with a backpack, and I have to tell everybody here, like, this girl is the real deal. This woman, she came beat for the gods, and she did it herself. Gwen does her own makeup. And listen, I know we have a lot of mutual, very talented makeup artist friends that I know that you worked with, and that I know, because you can't do everything all the time, but especially someone as busy as you and in demand. But let me tell you, this girl has a fierce eyeliner that she does. And she has a fierce lip liner that she does too. I remember looking at you, because I was just there, like, I was there to help you. My agent said, Gwen does her own makeup, but you're going to love her. And I've worked with David before, and we just had a really great time. So anyway, my point is just that I haven't seen you in so many years. But
that was a long time ago. And honestly, like, I did my own makeup for most of my life, just because of, I don't know, I love makeup. I love doing makeup. I wasn't a great makeup artist back then, in the sense that I just didn't have a lot of experience. I did work at the makeup counter for a short time during, like, my early teens, or maybe early 20s. I was working for Borghese and Ultima 2 on the Clinique Island or whatever, but nobody taught me anything. Like, they just put me behind there and was like, make a display. And I would just, like, put makeup on people, and no one would buy makeup because I had these really expensive lines that were in this mall that wasn't, they all went and got, like, Clinique or whatever. So, but I really enjoyed doing it, mostly because I enjoyed what it made people feel like when they wore makeup, and what makeup makes you feel like, So I've always really loved to do my own makeup, just because it's like the process of getting ready to do whatever the creative thing that was going to go along with that was. And but then along my journey, I've got to work with some incredibly talented people and learned so much, not only just because of people, but how many incredible products that are out there now, and just the passion for it, and how we all share. And I feel like only in the last, like, 10 years, I feel like I've learned the most, because of just being online and everybody sharing what they do and being creative. And so
there's no more trade secrets. Everything we used to do is all out in the open, and everybody can learn everything. It's really wonderful. It's really great. And I think it really adds to the concept of dreaming. Before, everything was such a mystery, right? You wouldn't know how people were able to achieve these looks. And now we see it's not magic. They're technical ways, you know, there are applications that everybody can do, and everybody's doing it. And you're right. I mean, the makeups have become so much equitable, right? Like before was really, you know, super high end brands only had certain things, and then mass market you would kind of stay away from. But now everything, I feel like there's something for everybody everywhere.
That is
And yeah, so you know, listen, I want to get into it. I want to talk to you about like your dreams and your dreaming process. Like, how do you manifest? Do you even think about it? Like, I know sometimes I don't think about that I'm actually manifesting something. I just have a goal and I work really hard to get to that goal. And there's oftentimes, almost every time, there are challenges and complications and things that you don't expect to happen. And you know, so it's like learning how to deal with all that comes with dreaming big and wanting to have you know, whether it's a brand or a business or anything. Like for you in music, I'm also from Orange County, so I remember you in the 80s when you were a ska artist. You were doing ska music, right?
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, what were you thinking about then? Did you think you were going, I mean, what was your process?
You know what? Back when I was 17 when No Doubt got together. I still lived at home. My brother was in the band. He was really the creative person in the band. He was a songwriter at the time. And I didn't really think that hard. I don't know. I didn't have big dreams. I wasn't like, I'm going to be a singer when I grow up. I honestly was just like floating. And it wasn't until like I wrote my first song that I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't even know how I did it. It just kind of came from above and just came through me like, oh, I guess I can do this. And that was when I started to kind of find my identity. I think before that, I started finding my identity through just music, like ska music and music that was kind of underground and not everybody knew about. And I loved anything vintage, and I loved thrift store clothes, and I loved, you know, all the bands that were like the British Invasion from England. And that was really just like, just all about trying to be not like everybody else in high school. And then I don't know. Then after that, we just started doing music, and the songs. It was just, we weren't doing it because we wanted to make money or we wanted to even make it. We knew we weren't going to make it. I mean, we were making the kind of music that was opposite from popular. So we just did it because, you know, we were all going to school, and it was like, that was what we did to procrastinate from our lives because we loved music so much. And we would just go in the studio and just write songs in the garage. It wasn't even the studio at the time, it was the garage. But we did make a studio in the garage eventually. But yeah, I didn't have big dreams really. I think one of the things that probably kept me on the right path was kind of being in the moment and not trying to go somewhere, but just like, oh, the next show's coming up, what am I gonna wear? You know what I mean? Like, and just like writing another song. And I don't know, it was very, nothing was planned. Everything was sort of organic and very just, I don't even know how it happened. It's just, I just know that we did it because we loved it.
But don't you think that's, even though that's not like deliberate manifestation, the fact that you loved it and the fact that it was different and you didn't care that it was different, because really, like, especially when you think about where we're both at now in terms of in this beauty industry, innovation and newness is such a required thing in a way, but yet everything is cyclical, right? So it's just about your love for whatever it is you're working on. And even though you may not have had a specific goal in mind with your music, the fact that you were loving it and the fact that it just, that love for it motivated you to do it time and time again. I remember because you guys were doing shows, and it was different kind of music than what was out, but that was the deal. That was why everybody loved it. You know, it wasn't the same thing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever you did and whatever your motivation was and whatever kept you going obviously worked out for you.
Well,
You
it was
know?
a lot of fun. And, you know, fast forward to all these years later, and, you know, being able to be probably one of the biggest, I don't know, what do you call it, rewards of just kind of doing music and being who I was along the journey, which is just a journey, because it's like you have all these milestones that, and then they just come and then they just go, and then you're kind of on to the next part of the journey. And working with really talented people and letting people into my creative world is what kind of led me to all the different little parts of my life, whether it was doing the solo record and, you know, starting Lamb and starting Harajuku Lovers, and then going on to basically having this dream about wanting to do a beauty brand, which is something that's like, before music, it was makeup. I mean, it always was for me. I mean, I was the girl that ran home from school and asked my girlfriend to let her mom like dig through her makeup drawer. She had tons of Mary Kay, and we would just like get nuts, you know, and just do makeup. So it's just something that I've always loved. And I guess because I kind of was like, the only thing I was good at was a little bit of art. Like I wasn't really good at school. I'm dyslexic. I have ADHD. I don't like, I just didn't really fit into school in that kind of way, but I loved art. And so makeup for me was just art. And it was a way to like change who I was and have this like other personality. And so I think that, you know, when basically my life kind of went crazy about 7 years ago and just kind of fell apart, and a lot of really, in my personal life, a lot of really sad things happened. And that's when I was like, you know what, I want to start something that's my thing, that I'm starting fresh, that is the rest of my life, like my give back, like the thing that I know that's always been me, that I could do good, that I could share with somebody else. And that's why I started Give.
Yes,
I started working on it over 4 years ago. So to be at this point, and I just think about you, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm talking to the girl that made this. I mean, this is literal. You don't even do makeup without one of these now. Like it's crazy. So it's incredible to talk to you and to see that how far you've come, and to think that, you know, just for me, it's more about like, it's the makeup, but it's also the community that I'm really interested in, you know what I mean? That's why talking to you is so cool, because it is a dream. It is a dream when you wake up every morning and you say, how am I going to face the day? Like, who am I going to be today? In this, which version of me am I going to be? And how am I going to present myself? And that's a gift to somebody else and a gift to yourself. You know, it's like you're giving yourself this look, this confidence, this way to walk out the door. And then you're presenting that to someone else that gets to see that, and you made that effort for them. So I think it's just a very artistic way that people present themselves through makeup. And it's incredibly like inspiring to see some of the artists out there that are just making these amazing looks, and the talent.
Isn't it amazing?
It is.
I mean, we would never have seen them without social media either. You know, I mean, before, the makeup industry was very isolated and very almost cliquish, you know, like you had to be with an agent, and you had to, you know, be with a certain publicist that you work with, or managers that you work with, in order at least to do it at the level that I was doing with celebrity work. It's just such a different world now. That is so inspiring, Gwen. What you're doing is so awesome. And I love Give. I love the concept of it. I think it's amazing. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I've got to see if I can reach out to her in any way and just talk about it, because I think it's so inspirational. Can I ask you a question though? And I know this might be kind of hard to answer, because you've done so much in your career and you have given so much to us. But do you have a favorite makeup look from one of your videos, or anything that you've done that stands out in your head? Because I know you've done so much. Like,
I have done a lot. Honestly, I think probably two of my favorites would be, I love Underneath It All. I think there's some really pretty moments in that video, things that I had never done before. And then I think that Misery, which is one of the later videos, that to me had some of the most beautiful makeup. That's Gregory Arlt, who I worked with for years, and I learned so much from him. And, you know, it's just such a creative time period to be able to, like, in a video, do so many looks in one day. Because, I mean, as you would know, like, it's really hard to, like, get all the shots you want to get and make changes and have different looks. And I think that that's like a really beautiful, like fashion video where we got it
Oh
all.
my God.
Yeah.
It
Everybody
was.
working on that video was just like so passionate about getting it all done, you know?
That was epic. That was epic to have all of those looks that you went through in that video. That was epic. And Gregory is such a sweet soul, such a sweetheart, such a great guy. He worked with Mac for many, many years when I knew him. And I mean, I still know him, but back then.
He's really one of the only makeup artists up in when I met him that I really like trusted and went through so much with, because for me, like when I paint my face, I feel like I'm somewhere between, like, there's a lot of makeup artists that put makeup on really pretty models and things like that, and it's really easy. But I feel like for me, it's always been like this fine line between, like, I need a lot of makeup, like I want a lot of makeup, you know, but I don't want to go so far that I sometimes where I have gone too far probably, but I don't know. He was just like a really nice balance between painting me and not. So I learned so much from him, and that's the game. That's what we're in here, is just learning from each other and always trying to elevate and always trying to bring something new.
Yeah,
It's just a very creative place to live.
Gregory had a really beautiful touch and a really beautiful eye. I know I saw you're working with Ernesto right now too. I love him, another sweet soul. He is awesome and so talented. And listen, he's been so supportive too for Beauty Blender. But so, you know, about dreaming though, I mean, this line you have, I'm like I said, I'm obsessed with Tragic Me. I wear it every day. And, you know, it's funny because being a makeup artist, unlike you, I would come to work and I wouldn't really wear a lot of makeup. And I found early on that if I would have beat my face, and times have certainly changed now, but if I would have come done up like I wanted to be done up, and it happened a couple times. Well, I walk in, you know, into the trailer, I set up and I wait for my client to come. They automatically assume I'm going to do their makeup like I have done my makeup. And so that could be good or bad, or you just never know. So I would always just come with no makeup on. Just to kind of like, let's settle this right away. I'm not wearing any makeup. So you're going to have to just see what I do right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and you know, it was a dream for me to be able to work with celebrities and then go on to, you know, I created Beauty Blender because I ended up getting this job on Girlfriends, which was a TV show that was shot in high def. And it was the first show ever being broadcast out in high def. And so the makeups you could suddenly see. So if you wanted to wear a lot of makeup, it had to be applied impeccably because you would see everything. So I created Beauty Blender actually as a way to mimic airbrushing, which they thought was the best way to apply makeup at that time for high def. But I wouldn't have to bring my compressor on the set because, you know, when the recording sound, you can't have your compressor blowing air and all that stuff. But I mean, again, you know, in my dreaming, I never thought that Beauty Blender would be the thing that I would be known for. I thought it would be makeup because I was a makeup artist. You know, I never knew this little sponge was going to be the thing that, you know, took me around the world and really just, you know, helped me manifest all the dreams for me. So I guess my question to you is, what are you dreaming about now, Miss Gwen Stefani? What are you dreaming about with your cosmetic line? What are we going to see? What are you doing?
Well, you know, for me, it's like, I'm just getting started. You know what I'm saying? I think the hardest thing is actually being patient enough to just be like, okay, here's what we got so far. And, you know, I'm launching 3 new products starting in mid-August. And it's just been really fun to finally let the dream that I've been dreaming, like, out of the bag. Like, okay, this is what I'm doing next. And, you know, I think that a lot of people that have been kind of exchanging love with me all these years through my music, you know, they've always wanted to know, like, what's the lipstick? Because they know I'm a makeup girl, you know, what's the color? And I think that the one thing that I wanted to do is create something that it's so overwhelming. Like, even if you're like, okay, I'm on Nordstrom Rack and I'm shopping the beauty department, and it's like, how do you choose something? Like, it's just really, really hard it's so overwhelming. I've always been intimidated by going to the makeup store. Like if you walk in and you just don't even know, like you feel so intimidated, by just all the products and these girls that are so good at what they do. And I just wanted to create a safe place for people where they are going to know no matter what product they get from me, I've done the work. Like I've already lived it, I've dreamed it, and I've tested it. And it's just the kind of makeup that is going to be super high performance. It's going to make you a better artist. It's going to be clean. It's going to be safe. All the things that, I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm trying to pitch right now, but it's like, it is true. These are the things that go through my mind when I'm creating this brand, because I think that there's a lot of people out there that don't even realize through makeup what they can feel like and what they can look like. And it's one of those things that I do know that, and I know that you know that, because you're creating dreams on people's faces all the time with your art. That's a different kind of makeup artist, because you're dealing with all different kinds of faces. I mean, it's another level. For me, I'm always just painting myself for the most part. I did get to work, like I said, behind the counter for a while, but I think with this line, it's just like, okay, there's no gimmicks. Like, this is just 100% going to be something that you're going to love, because I know that I'm not going to make anything you're not going to love. So it's been fun, and it's all been led up to this moment in my life, because if you think about it, like, I got to create brands, I got to do fashion, and that was really fun. I got to do like Harajuku, and I think one of the things that's fun about doing makeup, it's not really that different from designing or creating music. It's really like, it's just a very creative thing, and it's the process of kind of manipulating a different kind of medium. You know what I'm saying? Instead of fabric, I'm dealing with oil, and like, how is this going to work? How is this going to make my skin better? And so it's kind of the same process, and I really, really love it, because yeah, not only like,
listen, I had it all over my shoulders and everything today. It is so nice. It's so lovely.
I love putting it on my hands, but I feel like it's like makeup is a one size fits all kind of thing, that everybody can take that, whatever I create, and then they can make their creation with it. And I think that that's what's so cool about being able to work in the makeup zone at this point in my life.
Well, listen, I know you're a super busy lady. The reason why I wanted to talk to you, Gwen, is that you are one of very few iconic, famous, successful celebrities that I know their makeup, because I witnessed you doing your makeup. Because I know your makeup.
I've been working with Ariel, who I didn't even know.
He's awesome too.
I didn't know who he was. I just was like, oh, I like this makeup on Kylie. Like, why don't I try this guy? Literally totally innocent, didn't know. And he came over, and, I'm always super judgmental, like, when it comes to makeup artists. Like, I'm just always like, oh my God. Like, it's serious for me. So yeah. He does my makeup, and I was like, as he's doing my eyebrows, I was like, okay, wait a minute. This guy is probably one of the most talented makeup artists I've ever worked with. He's so precise. He knows how to make my face look like a Kardashian's face. Like, I'm like, what's happening?
He's a sketcher. He's a sketcher.
It's unbelievable. It's literally art right before your eyes. Right in basically the canvas was my face. So I've learned just so much through just working with different people, and I just want to be that for other people. There's so many women, especially women my age, that they want to be pretty. They want to feel good. They want to still be somebody in the world, and it gets harder and harder to have that feeling. And the thing is that makeup does that. Magic's in the makeup. I wrote a song about it. It's just the real thing, the real deal. And with a little bit of help, like a little bit of, love, everybody can get that feeling. So it's fun to talk about it. You can tell that I could talk about this all day long. It's definitely my passion. and I'm definitely super inspired by the world, and it's just like I could and it's just like I could never get enough makeup. I could never get enough of watching people put on makeup, talk about makeup. And I don't know, it's the same.
I
That's
mean, well, listen, like I said, I am just so honored, Gwen, that you came today. You're the first guest on my series. I have a lineup
cool.
of some other people that I think you will be looking forward to hearing their stories too. And again, like I said, I know you're the real deal, and I know you love makeup, and I know you know how to apply makeup, and I know you are a discriminating makeup purchaser. And so I thought, you know, it would be great for everybody to be able to hear a little bit about what inspires you, and, you know, a little bit about your background. And just thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for this, you know,
Oh, you're
like
so welcome.
I
You're
love
so
it. It
welcome.
works great. And thank you for all the rest of the stuff you sent me. I'm gonna play and wish you the best of luck with everything. I'm sure I'm gonna see you again. I'll send you some more stuff and some more
Oh,
swags.
I
And
hope so. I mean, we're, you know, I feel very like, I feel very like we're Sephora, we're like related now. We're Sephora sisters, right? We have our brands at Sephora. So I feel like Gwen Stefani is my Sephora sister. I'm definitely going to see you, probably not on holidays, but maybe at, you know, some Sephora events or even outside of that. So
well,
yeah.
thank you to everybody that came to listen to us. We love you guys. And
Yeah.
Rayanne, find me. I'm around.
I,
Thank you so
I
much.
barely found you today. My God, I had such technical difficulties. Thank you so much for being patient with me, you guys. I'll get better at this, I promise.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye.